Hello everyone, how are we doing? Welcome back. I haven't done this series for a little bit. That's just because I need some time to come up with these new meta breaking decks. I'm just too skilled, what can I say? Really, during the week I'm busy, having sex with multiple women and having a successful life. Career car, career home, the usual. But when I find time between fucking bitches and having a successful life, I like to break the meta of Hearthstone with my rank 20 plays and my homebrew decks, which you absolutely should not craft. Let me reiterate that again. You should not craft these decks. Any of these. I'm going to show all of them, but you shouldn't craft any of them. Is that right? Reverse psychology? Perhaps. I would recommend you do this if you have the cards for it. Considering I'm playing in Wild, though, that might be a bit of a stretch. So, just watch the video and vicariously live out your fantasy of owning Feigned Death, which is a card which is ridiculously expensive for a deck that doesn't win a whole lot. So what do we have this week? We have an interesting one. It's kind of a cross between Mech, Deathrattle, and Egg. Yes, it's a bit confusing. It's a lot of synergy with things that really shouldn't work, but somehow in the end they kind of do. Or not. First of all, let me just give you the strengths and weaknesses. It's good against more mid-range and control. It can stick to the board pretty well. And it sucks against aggro. That is the long and short of it. That's generally most of my decks. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to cycle through the list, talk to you about each of the cards, choice I made, why you should have them or not, what can be replaced or what can't be replaced. Mekaru is a 1 mana minion that has Deathrattle and it has the Mech synergy tag, so it's got a couple of things going for it. It's good against aggro. 1 mana Deathrattle into another 1 mana. Can be helpful, but not when there's a Void Lord or when your opponent does a Flame Imp into Voodoo Doctor into 2 Happy Ghouls. Which is a fuck my life moment, if I've ever seen one. But this can help stem the tide. It can also get into early damage. You can help magnetize, that kind of thing. There are good reasons to keep this, but it's not. But if you want to go more control heavy, you can just ditch it. Play dead. If you played Deathrattle Hunter, you play this. That's generally the consensus. It's great for eggs. Need I say more? Bomb toss. This gives you a bomb. Bombs suck. Did I tell you that you shouldn't craft this deck? Let me tell you that again. So this is good to try and get back on the board after some early aggression. It's a shame that the bomb doesn't have any attack value, so you still get stomped anyway, but it's the thought that counts. This can sometimes kill a Flame Imp, and then you're feeling pretty good about yourself, and it can double up as damage against your opponent because it's deal 2 damage, not deal 2 damage to a minion. So you can deal it to the hero as well. So it's a bit of face damage, which is Hunter's specialty. And if you bomb toss into, say, Feigned Death, Play Dead, you could get too much damage, too much math for my brain to handle. So just consider that thought for a moment and how amazing that would be and how unlikely it is that it's just never going to happen. But the thought's there that it could happen. and that's what makes this card worth it. Here is where we come to the card that inspired me. Explorer's Hat. There was a time during Hearthstone's development when this was seen so prolifically. It was everywhere. People thought about playing Undertaker, but they then considered, no, do I want to play Undertaker against Explorer's Hat? I'm completely fucking with you, by the way. This has not seen much play, or any play whatsoever. But I use it here because I like to give the homes to stray dogs. What can I say? This, however, will help give your bombs, your eggs, and everything like that a bit of attack power so that they can actually do something on board. Granted, it's 2 mana for 1 attack, which is... we don't talk about that, but you know, it works. And it synergizes well with Play Dead and all of these things, and Feign Death. For example, I have on occasion played Nerubian Egg, then Explorer's Hats, used Explorer's Hat on it and Play Dead the next turn. So that gives me a 4/4 on board, and it makes the egg a 1/3, and it gives me a hat. It's pretty good. It can be used to trade up against things. There are good reasons to have Explorer's Hat. There's even some potential for that 1 extra bit of damage. You never know. It might come in handy. I actually would have to warn you that sometimes your hand will fill with Explorer's Hats. I'm not fucking with you. It's happened before. I've milled myself because of this card. It seems unbelievable, but it happened in my dreams. Feign Death. Trigger all Deathrattles on your minions. I read that one aloud because I'm sure no one's ever heard of it. So, this is generally good for Deathrattle decks. What can I say? You slam down a Sylvanas and you've just got an extra Play Dead to steal their minion. That's pretty good. It's also extra egg activators, Explorer's Hat activators. It's pretty good. Fireworks Tech. Give your Mech +1 and start to steamroll, and you get another 1/1 on the board. That happens rarely. It does happen. This also targets Spider Bomb, and it can target the bombs as well. It has something going for it. It's not always reliable because you don't always have mechs, and I found myself on occasion trying to use this on Nerubian Egg and then shame conceding when it doesn't work, because the card is not designed that way. If you didn't know, it's not for all Deathrattle cards, it's for mech cards. Thanks, Blizzard. Glaivezuka. This is a replaceable card. I don't really have any reason to keep it. A couple of reasons, but they're not really good enough. It can help you fight against aggro, but then the health you're losing to try and control the board is often too much when you use Glaivezuka, and then you'll die anyway, because every aggro deck is running Leroy and shit tons of burst damage, because fuck this game. Oh, sorry, did I sound bitter? Let me just get my energy up. Oh boy, here I am with Trump reviews. That'll get him. That'll get an audience. Glaivezuka will give your eggs +1 attack, which can help them to attack. So that's fine too. Generally, it's for either dealing damage to the opponent's face, trying to trade up on the board so you can get a favourable position, or it's giving your egg some attack. Nerubian Egg. This card is so balanced. Man, if Nax taught us anything, it's that omelets are the shit. You should have seen what happened to Undertaker Those were some dark times. Nerubian Egg, it's a solid 2-drop. People often don't remove this, and then you remove them from existence. Because you slam down the Play Deads, the Feign Death, the Terrascale Stalker, the Waste of Dust, and it just annihilates them. It's a good turn 2 play. Devil's Saw Egg serves a similar principle, but it's got 1 more in stats, it's worth 1 more mana, and it's got +1 health on the egg. It's a bit slower, so it's not as good as Nerubian Egg, I would have to say, because its tempo is worse, and it doesn't fit with the general curve as well. But it's a good alternative to Nerubian Egg. Just sometimes you need something to play, or some Deathrattle to be activated. You need Devil's Saw Egg. And I need this for the thumbnail. Spider Bomb. It's good for the magnetic. Sometimes you can attach it to a bomb and trade against, say, a mountain giant on like turn 3 or something. That can be good. It's happened once, so it's worth keeping the entire card. It's not very good against aggro, I'll say that. They just push your face in and you're dead. But there are times where it's shone. And generally magnetic can add to damage. It's a dumb concept, but you know, it has niche occasions where it will get lethal. Terrascale Stalker. Another Deathrattle activator. The whole thing is we want to get enough eggs and enough Deathrattles that can be activated, and we need enough activators to do that. Here's another activator. So there you go, that's its purpose. It's also 3 mana 3/3, that's not too bad. Granted, Priest has a 3 mana 3/4. Win arena games instantly by being a massively balanced card. And generally there's Spider Tank if you want something that's better statted. Well, we just ignore the 3-drop slot and say that this is adequately priced and has adequate stats. And it has a good effect, so you know, it does its job. Explodinator, it's another somewhat interchangeable card. I keep it, and I do keep it because it provides some burst damage, but it's often too slow. If I had any editing skills, I would put in a Kingdom Hearts 3 clip of Vanitas. Too slow! Nope! Explodinator creates 2 Goblin Bombs, which the Goblin Bombs, I could talk ad nauseum about how they lose tempo, and the magnet, it's often just lucrative for your opponent to deal with them instantly, and there's often no repercussions because you've just lost the board and all the tempo. So you're then in a position where you have to fight them to get back the board, in which case you're not pushing face damage anymore, in which case you've just lost your tempo for nothing really. I could talk about this forever, but I won't. Clearly. Goblin Bombs suck. It's the name of the video right here. They are good enough for magnetic targets, and I can't really think of a card that fits better. So they'll have to do. You could change this, and you could change Glaive Bazooka too. These cards are interchangeable. I've often found times where I've seen Explodinator and I've just cried silently, as you might see in the gameplay today. So perhaps find an alternative. You could stick in Gluttonous Ooze, maybe an Owl or Duskbreaker or whatever. Look at me showing my nerd cred with all these names, I know. Replicating Menace. It's another magnetic minion. It's kind of egg-like. It summons microbots, and it's got. Did I mention it has magnetic and that it's a mech? When I have a theme for a deck, I very much like to use that theme, and I don't like to put in good cards because my hubris prevents me from it, and it demands that I stick to my theme. Hence we have Replicating Menace, which is actually okay if you ever get a mech to stick on board past turn 2. It can make trades a bit awkward. It means that you can stick to the board far better. You can push some damage, and if they clear it, then you've got some 3/1s to magnetize to as well. So it's not bad. Princess Huhuran. I regret everything. I crafted this. Oh, I'm so dumb. Man. I'm sorry. I've got to just lament my wallet for a second. Princess Huhuran, if you don't know what this card is, good. Triggers a friendly minion's Deathrattle. There you go. It's just another Deathrattle activator, except it's massively overpriced. It's okay, it actually does its job, and I haven't been dissatisfied with it in this deck. I've been dissatisfied with it not being in any other decks, but in this deck it performs its job admirably, and a 5/6 isn't the worst thing. It's the second worst thing. Ziliax, it's played everywhere. Play it, fool. It heals you. It's got Divine Shield. It can prevent damage to your face. It stalls. It's good. What can I say? It can push damage by magnetic. It has Rush, so I can trade with other minions. It's good. Sylvanas. Oh, I bet you haven't seen this card in a little while. But all of you out there who know this card collectively dream of her at night. And occasionally browse 4chan. Maybe you'll go to Tumblr. Maybe you'll go to Rule 34. I'm just saying. And think of the day when you got your first Sylvanas against a Resurrect Priest, and they barnsed, or they did that thing, and you did the play dead on Sylvanas the next turn and stole their Ragnaros, and they said the light shall burn you, and they conceded. I'm sure you've all had that moment and realised how good this card is, because this card is great. It trades decently against minions, and it takes one of their minions, which is inopportune for them. It just creates a sticky situation for the opponent, and that's what we're looking for. If I had the money, I'd suggest you craft Cairn, Bloodhoof, Brave, whatever. That guy who's not really seeing much play because he fits the Deathrattle theme just fine. But here we are, and I have too much self-respect, so I didn't craft him. We have our second alternative. Lark's Boomzooka. You don't see this because, with good reason. I am trying to make this work, and someday a top meta deck will never have this card. I think that day's already arrived. In fact, that's every day of our lives. But I think someday, I have a dream, like Martin Luther King, that we'll see this in a deck. Like this one, but less janky. Lark's Boomzooka will summon 3 random Deathrattle minions, throw them at the opponent, and then they'll die. If you summon some Deathrattles, it'll just break the Deathrattles and then give you a formidable board. Sometimes it actually does trade up against it. This has never happened, but hypothetically it trades up against other minions, and then the Sylvanas, if that is shot out of the cannon, might hit the Naga Sea Witch and then steal another giant, and it won't happen, but it will. It will. Today in our footage, I have willed it to happen. It must. But it's interchangeable. So if we're to look at the entire list now, we see the kind of theme. You have Deathrattles, you stick them to the board, and then you'll buff them or magnetic them and make them sticky with your Rule 34 Sylvanas. I don't know where I was going with that. Let's forget that little tangent. you'll create sticky minions and then use the Deathrattle activators to start flooding the board. That's the general principle that this deck follows. Interchangeable cards are Glaivezuka, don't really need that. Explodinator and Flark's Boomzuka. They can all be replaced for better cards or tech cards or anything like that. So, without further ado, we're going to now move on to the gameplay and hope that I can get a couple of sweet games with this awesome deck. No sarcasm whatsoever. Now, as you can see, I'm ranked 20. I'll have you know that Hearthstone's ranking system works where the higher your rank, the more awesome you are. It's what I believe. Unfortunately, that's not actually how it works. Yeah, I'm pretty low rank, that's fair to say. I got as far as rank 5, but then my janky decks stopped working, so I just gave up. And here we are. I'm going to continue to play fun decks that win occasionally. Here we have Druid. I haven't played much after the patch, so I'm not quite sure what to expect. Maybe it's spiteful. I hope it's not aggro. Terrascale Stalker is an okay 3-drop, but we're going to ditch all of this for some 1 or 2 drops. There's one 1-drop in the entire deck, but you know, luck is on my side. Oh, I'm so good. What can I say? Man, I don't know how I do this every time. This is what it feels like to go up against a priest who has Northshire Cleric every turn 1. When it happens to you, it's awesome, and it fucking sucks every time the reverse happens. So we're just going to play Nerubian Egg and kind of curve out. This is naturally how the deck progresses. Now we can either choose to get Spider Bomb to push damage, and we might actually choose to do that. That was bold. I thought you were about to make a huge mistake. So we have a couple of options here. We either Spider Bomb this, which makes it unkillable, or we play Dead. We're going to play Dead instead, puts more stats on the board. If he kills it, c'est la vie. French for such is life, because I'm pretentious. And I have too much time on my hands, that's why I know that. I have no idea what this druid's game plan is. Oh, hey-oh, looks like he's not going to die. Oh man, this is pretty good. Not so good that we don't have another Deathrattle activator. We're going to put this on here, start pushing face. This is Hunter's Legacy. If he plays something formidable next turn, well...
Tonight, a tale of true terror.
What is this? Is this Big Druid? I like your priorities. We're going to play the highest. We're going to curve out. It's pretty much our game plan now. Princess Hooveron doesn't find opportunities to be played on curve like that. Not so regularly, so take it while you can. I have no fucking clue what this guy's game is. There's probably higher minion. What am I saying? Okay. We might play Ziliax here to pop this. But why would we do that? Naturalize, perhaps, trading up. We're going to start pushing damage. I have no idea what this guy's game plan is, but the sooner he's dead, the better. I'm resisting the urge to do Trump trades here. And it may come back to bite me, but I have my doubts. This guy's deck looks really, really slow. I am so sorry, man. This is what I mean. So when I say that this deck really preys upon control and mid-range decks, this is kind of what I mean. Game 1! It's pretty successful against a deck that did like fuck all. So, legend ready? Yes. Because so far we have 100% win rate. We're gonna do another round. I don't know if that's wise, because I think we should just stop here while we can. So that this video looks perfect and like everything went according to plan, but I don't want to be disingenuous. If we lose this game, well, fuck you, Jeff. Oh, that doesn't even work. Fuck you, Ben Brode. Oh no, that doesn't even work. Who am I supposed to fuck now? I don't know. Fireworks Tech, not great against the hero power. Sylvanas is 6 mana, that's like the highest cost card in our deck, bar Flux Boomzooka. Glavezooka could be used against Mana Worm to start trading up, so keep that. Explodinator, go away. Look, it's not the worst curve. I take everything back. My life is great. So now we can truly trade against Mana Worm. I'm glad, guys. This is why people you see on YouTube. This is why they're at higher ranks when they suggest decks to you. I'm playing against a man who has Frostwolf Run. For anyone not familiar with Hearthstone who hasn't played, that comes from the classic set, and the problem is that the classic set has now dipped in power because a card game, to keep it interesting, is constantly cycling and becoming more. There we just go, Goblin Bomb here. More powerful, so things don't, stagnate and become too boring. So the problem with that then is that the classic set, what they designed for, the original power level, is no longer good enough. So it's a shame. You know what I'm going to do? So basically, when you see classic set cards like that, they're bad. I could bomb toss, which I'm going to because I don't want to really touch that. And I'm going to get some damage in while I can. But this should make trading a bit better for me. And we've got a more formidable board. I think this was the correct play. I could have gone face, but my dude, I'm sorry for your loss. You're hitting my face. Okay, there is some merit to that play. I'm not. Goodbye, life. This man is just about to have a choke on his own penis. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, everyone, for my top level commentary. I could either Spider Bomb here and spread the damage, or I could just apply it here to get more damage, which... no. What we're going to do here is Spider Bomb and then Feign Death. Either way, the outcome should be good. Oh, that is perfect. We're not, actually. So we could hero power this, so we're going to do that. Unless he hits my face again, I can just kill this with a weapon next turn. Or we can try and push for lethal. I probably should have looked for lethal, but I'm the kind of chess guy who sets up his entire defense and never attacks. There's also that problem. Or not a problem. I imagine he has Flame Strike. So what we're going to do is we're going to protect one of our minions. Or we could push for more damage. I don't know if I'm confident enough for that. So I'm going to spread the damage around. It's basically, if I could change the name scheme, I'd say call this deck the spreading damage around equally, or not, sometimes unequally, to fit the best situation. I think that's the right kind of name for this deck. I am not afraid of Polymorph. I am afraid of Polymorph, actually. I'm terrified, but I'm going to push as much damage as is humanly possible. Next turn we have Lethal. As you can see, this deck runs out of gas pretty fast, but it sticks to the board enough that a couple of AoE clears won't necessarily kill it. It works, what can I say? Not against aggro, but aggro doesn't exist. It's only like 30-50% of the meta. Luck to you, man. Well played. Cat, I will kill you. Have you seen my Hearthstone skills? Hey! Apologies, my cat was being too cute. I needed to tell him who was boss. Okay, we're going to do one more round. Hopefully against a deck that's better composed. I'm not saying that that guy's deck wasn't well composed. And who am I to say, because I've got the single trashiest deck around, but... He had Frostwolf Grunt, man. In a deck, unironically. Yeah, I feel sorry for the man. He's just trying to have fun, live his life, without having to pay extortion amounts for the game. Okay, Replicating Menace, too high a cost. Terrascale Stalker, I'm considering it. Mecharoo, I'm a boss, what can I say? My Mulligan skills are impeccable. Ooh! Oh! I'm flexing. Still in the place, and I'm vexing. I'm quoting the best rap song of our generation. Okay, if we curve out without interruption, we get Mecharoo, and then we Explorer's Hat that to make it more durable. Then on 3, we Terrascale Stalker the Mecharoo to get another 1/1, and we get an Explorer's Hat back. Or we play a game where the fuckwit takes forever to take his turn, then he's AFK like a little bitch, and then I win the game, and everyone is dissatisfied, including his mother, for having him. Well, that's dark. Apologies, this is the dark hour, where we spout very dark things on a light-hearted children's game and bring the mood down. Oh, people like this make me want to die. It's turn 1, man. What decision are you making? What's going on in that head of yours? Probably the thought process of every control warrior. Armor up! Armor up! Armor up! If it sounds like I'm being degrading towards people who play warriors like that, control warriors, I absolutely am. Fuck you. I love you, but not when you're like this. Hey, we got him! We got him. This is a terrible draw against a deck like this, because we're really going to be playing this for 3 Deathrattles. Come on, man! What are you doing? Are you trying to make me edit the video? I played this tonight so you would fuck off with the editing. Someone hurt this man. Not really. Don't. Whatever I said, don't listen to it. I'm a terrible role model. What? You're not even playing a control warrior. Why the fuck are you taking so long? What? Is he... We'll never know. Just Explorer's Hat, see that? Helps us trade up against the classic Tauren warrior. So prolific in Hearthstone, it's ubiquitous with Hearthstone. Every week they're wondering about nerfing that card. It's unbelievable. Again, I'm being sarcastic, but without human emotion, I am incapable of displaying sarcasm. So I have to say it instead, that I'm being sarcastic. Dude. Sorry, I'm just falling asleep at the wheel here. You've roped out every turn. What are you, life coach? Ayo, haha! But that's not even a diss. That's just life coach. So what we could do here is, and what we're probably going to do is load this one up. Why are we going to load this one up in particular rather than spreading it across multiple bodies? Because we have a chance of getting another Deathrattle activator. He has no polymorph or form of polymorph, so there's really no problem with us stacking it with this. He might have silence, which would suck ass, but we play the game and just hope that doesn't happen. Dude, what are you doing? I am so disappointed in life. Are you fucking kidding me? We're just gonna start pushing damage. It doesn't matter. Give me all the hats. Here's what I mean. I'm gonna fucking mill myself with hats. Yeah, what are you gonna do, huh? You gonna mortal strike me? You gonna draw patches? Is that what happened? Sorry, this man deserves no respect. He broke me for this shit and prolonged my video for this shit. There we go. A perfect track record. 100% all the way to Legends. I can see this being top 1 on any rating website. If you want to try out the deck yourself, I'd give you the code, but I'm just a mad lad, and I hate to make things easy for you. And besides, the deck is called Waste of Dust. You shouldn't really have this code, and I don't know how to do it anyway. So, well, good luck on ladder. I hope this has been informative, entertaining, educating. I'm going to take off. Good luck on ladder. Not me. Now, that is a terrible outro because I burped in the middle of it, and I could edit the video, but no. Goodbye.